out there. Pass the popcorn, Lou.
Oh, here we are. Yama, g'day. I'm Luna. Welcome to Gday. G'day. It's Saturday, and here we go again. I hope you had a good week. And let's see who's in the house today. And as usual, we're like a bull at the gate, and we're off and running. Oh, look, I haven't even got everything sorted out. Bang! As usual, all my computer stuff is all over the place. Let's see who's in the house today. Who we got? We got Jules and Malia. G'day, Jules. How are you?
Ding dong, Avon calling.
Hey. What is that? How you going? Welcome. And Malia, how you going?
Yeah, my good day. Happy Saturday in Australia.
Yeah, we made it. We're all still alive, people. So
It was a good week. It was
Before I forget, can I acknowledge chat and say, hey, Joe, good to see you.
Hi, Joe.
I haven't been around. I've been dealing with some stuff and illness and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, we've had a funny week. Last week was a weird week. This week was the transition. So there were still little pieces of the weird week, but we can feel something else coming, and there was a bit of laughter and fun. And this is a transition week, so hopefully next week will be better. And,
yeah, sorry for my odd angle. My chair's broke.
Yeah, we can all sit on a lean, so it makes Jules feel better. No.
I got my corner seat.
Yeah, anyone out there that want to help Jules get a new chair?
For only 99 cents a week. You can keep a podcaster in a chair.
Can we put your PayPal in the chat?
For the cost of a cup of coffee.
Speaking of coffee,
you can buy Jules a new chair.
If we buy Jules a coffee, we'll make sure we have enough for it.
Yeah, maybe I should go on The Price is Right. Give me a new chair.
Oh, so as you see, it's still a bit of a weird week, and yeah, we're moving on. All right.
I've been medicated this week.
What have we got for you this week? Oh, that's right. What
are we doing?
Father Crespi. Have you guys heard of Father Crespi?
I have not heard of Father Crespi.
Father Carlos Crespi. Okay, so we're going to have a look at his stuff and who he is. His name's Carlos Crespi, Father Carlos Crespi, obviously. He was lived in Ecuador, South America, and that's where we're going today. Everyone jump on the plane. We're going to Ecuador. Woohoo! Anyway, what happened? He helped the the town there, and all the people. He's very generous and kind, and he helped all the children especially. And in return, people started giving him presents. But what they were doing, they found this hidden cave, and it was full of gold and all these treasures. And over the years, he collected all these stuff and put them in a little warehouse where he lived. And we're going to check it out. It's bloody amazing. Apparently, when he passed away, it all went missing, and you'll find out why when you see the nature of this stuff. You'll find out why it went missing, because it's not from South America. It's actually Babylonian, and it's 5,000 years old. And it's all been hush-hush because obviously they don't want the world to know that, hey, people did share things in the past. and these people were all over the place. So we'll have a look at that. Have we got anything else? I don't think we have this week. We're going to just have a yarn, I think. Yeah, we're going to have a yarn. We're going to have a yarn, and the topic is tears, crying and tears, the property of tears, and find us crying besides emotions, because we all know we can laugh our heads off and start crying, and we can just sit there and tears will run down our face. So we're going to check out that and just have a big yarn at the end by the fire. But first off, I think we'll kick off with Father Crespi, and I hope I'm saying his name right. Because
I mean, thank you for clearing this up. I mean, I was curious when you mentioned him last night, and I was like, is this guy like, you know, does he cook chicken? Is he like another
Crispy?
You just had me going with that name.
You and your chicken.
Sorry, I can't help it. It was Easter week. There's peeps everywhere.
I hope I'm saying it right and it's not actually pronounced something different, because it's like crispy. All right, I've got some slides for you here, and we did have a little read. So I'll just find the little read what I had. Where are we? Ping, ping. Father Crespi. Oh, I didn't clean up my stuff. I've got some funny things for you too, and we've got beautiful things coming as well. So the truth about Father Crespi. Ping. You got this article too, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to read it while I show slides, Malia?
Okay.
You don't
Sure.
have to. You
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll put up slides and you can start reading. And bing, bing, Father Crespi. Enjoy.
Okay.
Okay.
The truth about Father Crespi and his missing artifacts finally revealed. The story of Father Crespi is a mysterious and controversial account of a priest in Ecuador, involving claims of unknown civilizations, strange golden artifacts, a subterranean cave system containing a metallic library, depictions of strange figures connecting America to Samaria, symbols depicting an unknown language, evidence of extraterrestrial contact, interesting, and a Vatican conspiracy involving thousands of missing artifacts. But how much of the story is true? Ancient Origins set out to find the answers and was given exclusive access by the Central Bank of Ecuador to the private artifact collection of Father Crespi, tucked away in hidden vaults and storerooms, including the controversial carved metal plates, which had not been seen or photographed for decades. Google the name Father Crespi today, and you will find dozens of websites telling the bizarre story of a humble priest and his connection with a mysterious collection of artifacts. Admittedly, Ancient Origins is included among those that have highlighted the strange story of Crespi and his missing artifacts. However, when myself and Dr. Ionis, something Cerejos of Ancient Origins moved to Cuenca, Ecuador, and were visited by researchers Hugh Newman, founder of megalithomania.co.uk, and Jim Vieira, who has starred on several History Channel programs. There was an opportunity to explore the account in more depth and find out what is really behind the story of Father Crespi. Father Carlos Crespi Croce was a Salesian monk who was born in Italy in 1891. He studied anthropology at the University of Milan before becoming a priest. In 1923, he was assigned to the small Andean city of Cuenca in Ecuador to work among the indigenous people. It was here that he devoted 59 years of life to charitable work until his death in 1982. Father Crespi is known for his multitude of talents. He was an educator, anthropologist, botanist, artist, explorer, cinematographer, and musician, as well as his intense humanitarian efforts in Ecuador, in which he set up an orphanage and educational facilities, assisted the impoverished, gave food and money handouts, and cared deeply for the people. Walking around the city of Cuenca, it is clear that Crespi won the hearts of the people. Today, a statue of him helping a young child remains in the square in front of the Church of Maria Auxiliadora, and local peoples old enough to have known him share stories about his intense charitable efforts. The city of Cuenca has been working with the Vatican for years to have Father Crespi recognized as a saint. However, it was not only the people of Cuenca that he helped. Father Crespi also had a deep personal interest in the numerous tribes of indigenous peoples throughout Ecuador and sought to learn about their culture and traditions, as well as to offer assistance wherever possible. People speak of his dedication to a life of voluntary poverty, sometimes sleeping on the floors of small huts belonging to indigenous people with only a single blanket. The clip below was filmed by Father Crespi in 1927 and is the first film of Shuar community life and culture ever made. It was due to the dedication of Father Crespi to the people that they began to bring him artifacts as offers of thanks. These artifacts came from all corners of the country and beyond and were representative of the works of almost all the indigenous cultures of Ecuador. Other objects, including numerous metallic carved plates, were thought to be modern-day carvings or replicas of ancient artifacts. Though Crespi always showed great gratitude no matter the value of the gift, not wanting to shame impoverished families by giving them money handouts for nothing, Crespi began to pay some of the people for the objects they brought him. Philip Copens explains, when poor people brought him these plates or other artifacts that the local people knew he collected, he made sure they were rewarded for their efforts. He knew several local families were poor, but their pride prevented them from asking for money, unless it was as payment for something, and hence more and more metal plates found their way to the priest. Some Crespi were sure were fakes, and they were often the crudest executed. Over time, Father Crespi acquired more than 50,000 objects, many of which were kept in the courtyard of the church Maria Auxiliadora, until the Vatican gave him permission to start a museum to house the collection. Unfortunately, many of the artifacts were destroyed in a fire in 1962. After Father Crespi passed away, the remaining artifacts were removed and little trace of them remained. Various claims emerged as to what happened to the artifacts that survived the fire. Some say they were stored in the cellar archive of Maria Auxiliadora. Others say they were sold to private collectors, or that they were shipped off to the Vatican. For decades, there was little known or seen of Crespi's precious artifacts. Gold the gods. Should I keep reading, or are we good?
No, we can have a rest and just look. We've got most of the information.
Okay.
And I'll go back through the slides. I actually just realised how lengthy that article was.
Yeah, because we're a little bit. It's like 4 or 5 more paragraphs.
So that's enough for people to know. As I say to everyone, go do your own research. Even though you agree with what we say, go and check it out anyway.
Yes, so this article, you can find it on ancientorigins.net, and its title is The Truth About Father Crespi and His Missing Artifacts Finally Revealed. So, if you want, go finish reading it. Take a look at the photos. These are pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll go back over them again. And the thing was, too, the elephants, there was so much stuff with elephants. And they're like, how could elephants exist here in this part of the world? Obviously, it did. That's an elephant tusk carved. And to get these pictures, I had to search, man, because they are really trying to dig him down in the ground and make him forget him for the rest of the world. And there's only so much because he's passed away now and the whole collection's disappeared. But I did find another article, and it actually wasn't related to Father Crespi. It was related to the cave of where they had everything, and it was a short little article. I should have flashed it to you, but anyway, about this guy finding a hidden cave full of this stuff. And when I read that, I thought, hang on, that's the stuff they've been given Father Crespi. Yeah, and it was quite old in black and white, but that was buried too. So all this was buried. So if this show isn't on after we do it, you know why. But there's that picture there. There's another guitar. Look, and if you realise how big that guitar was, they belonged to giants, right? So these people were big. Yeah. And in the background there, it looks like see them two big V things? They like gate pieces or some big ornamental stuff that went on a wall. You know what I mean? Or yeah, they're huge. Like they didn't. When they were given him presents, they didn't worry about the size. They just kept giving him presents. All right, we'll go back to the first one and we'll have a yarn about all this stuff. So I dug, chop, and spent quite a while trying to get as many pictures as I could for you. So they're the plates they were talking about. Now, some of these plates are gold, some are silver, and some are just metal. And as Malia read out in the article, Father Crespi realised some of them were forgeries, bullshit, because the people were just trying to pay him back. And if they didn't have one, they made one, but he knew it was bullshit. So I presume he would have thrown the bullshit ones away and kept all the good ones because he knew what he was looking at. He was very educated because he was a father. So that's one of the big gold plates. They're gold. There is video on him, but it's done by the people it's done by. I was going to play it for you, but I'll probably get kicked off. So I just presented the photos. Now, these panels, you've probably heard in other stories about other lands of how their houses were decorated, the palaces or whatever. They'd have metal gold sheets on them and in carvings. That's them. That's what they're talking about. They were actually taken off a wall somewhere because there was more than one and they all decorated the walls. You know what I'm talking about, girls, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, it reminds me of the Mormons, actually, and one of their origin stories is about Joseph Smith finding golden plates. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But he was very magical, so.
Yeah, I store everything that I see like this, and then when it just magically draws lines and goes, remember this, remember that, that's part of this and part of that. Takes time, but that's what I realised. That's what they're talking about. Those gold plates that they had on the walls. All right. I'd like to know what was actually put on them. I've tried to get pictures as close as I can. Now, there's a guitar. Now, tell me how a normal human being his size would play that. And that's
I suppose it could be possible, experimentation with instruments, but the question is why, and how would he carry it around with him anywhere if it was that big?
Yeah,
cello is about the same size.
Yeah, I thought
it was huge.
But yeah, like you said, how would you carry it around? It's impractical.
Yeah, imagine trying to pack and ship a cello. It can be done.
Yeah.
And I imagine there's no strings on that. I wonder what it would have sounded like, a gold guitar. There it is again.
I don't know. I mean, I wonder how that would pair with a golden harp.
Yeah, right. Probably would sound like angels. See the silver one in the back?
Yeah.
So that's a small one. And these, I've got them because you can kind of see elephants. There's elephants on it. And look at the people. They look like cartoon characters. If you can see the person in that sword-like thing in the top left corner, yeah, that person, he looks like a gingerbread man or something.
Not the gumdrop buttons.
And that's the one.
I apologize, everybody. I'm like slightly medicated.
Oh, yeah. Jules
rare form.
Jules is on another planet at the moment. That's Babylonian, and we've seen that in that we know what that is. Yeah, we've seen that before. But it was given to him out of his cave, so they were there also. And this is just a collection of stuff. I would have loved to see this stuff. And there's another funny person on the end there. I don't know what that's made of. Could be. It's hard to tell because metal gets corrosive and it looks different.
But it kind of. Can you go back to that one slide?
Yep.
It's a religious. It's got the religious iconography.
It kind of reminds me of Shiva.
I'm not sure. I don't know if I can get it bigger.
I mean, it might just be the angle that I saw it at, but...
Yeah. But
it's definitely interesting.
Amazing stuff, yeah. So I gather some government's got all this stuff now. In there, it looked like a drum. See, just behind him, it was like, see, it looks like a drum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I found that interesting, and more panels. And this I found interesting. What they say about this actually proves that it's from that era, 5,000 years ago or whatever, from the Babylonian. It's a dome. Apparently, I never looked into what the dome means or anything, but apparently it's pretty important. This dome, it looks like a clay dome, but it could be metal with corrosion on the outside. But it was a significant piece for time stamping. So I tried to get a few photos. It's got lizards on it, obviously. See that? It's 2 lizards and an opening. And I don't know what it actually is supposed to be. I thought at first, is that some kind of helmet? But he said it was a dome.
Or maybe it's like some kind of an oven to bake.
Yeah, it could be. It actually looks like a house for lizards. Like.
Or it's a house for little people, for pixies and stuff.
Yeah, because there's a little person in the bottom, in the middle there. See the little person?
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, there is, with the little hat. I just see him. Mm-hmm. Now I can't unsee him. Oh, he's cute. Oh yeah, that's his house. Mm-hmm. Totally. And his friends are the lizards protecting him. That's very Maya. And Ecuador is very similar to Guatemala too. So, if not more ancient in so many ways. But that definitely looks like an alouche. They would call alouche. Little kind of pixie-like thing.
So that was interesting.
Let me get that off of you. There you go.
Okay, there's some pots and them tall, they're gold obviously, them tall things. I wonder what they are. Rod things.
Obelisks or something.
Yeah, and pottery, heaps of pottery.
Pottery.
And they look like figures in the background, metal figures. So there's some more pottery, better look of the tall things, silver and a gold one. And we've got writing all over them. Buzz is going, see you, Buzz. Thanks for coming. I was hoping you'd give us a poem, but that's okay. There's the pottery, that particular pottery. Look at it. It's different to the other ones, the other pottery. Mm-hmm. It looks like they've had different ages of things all stored in the one place.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. This I found interesting. Now, who do they belong to? Like, why would they give him skulls? Obviously, they were there as well, right? Because they've got them all from the same place.
They're very old skulls, too. Like hundreds and thousands of years old to turn black.
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought when I saw them. I went, wow, they're really old. Who do they belong to?
Very old.
Why did they give them to Father Crespi? They all come from the same area.
And he kept them.
And he kept them, yeah. He kept everything, except for the crappy things, I think. But no, he might have even kept them just to
He might have even, I think the contacts he did, even the...
He kept everything. And they're the plates, like the one we showed you in the beginning. And there's a close-up of the plates.
And he put all of these objects in a cave?
No, they were in a cave, and the people, to pay him back for his kindness and what he did for them, would give him presents from the cave.
Oh, they would go into the cave and
take something and give it to him in payment for his help.
Do they ever tell us where the cave is? Do we know?
No, well, the cave was supposed to be hidden, a hidden cave, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, I found another article way back then This guy found a hidden cave with the exact same stuff in it, right? And then you hear nothing. So I reckon he's found
Of
the cave.
course.
That's alerted them, oh shit, there's a cave of stuff in it, we can't let people see it. Then they found out, oh, Father Crespi's got some of the stuff out of the cave, so they hid that as well. Or
Of
vice
course.
versa, I'm not sure, yeah. But
Yeah.
they both correlate. They were in Ecuador, the cave was found in Ecuador. He's in Ecuador. Like, yeah, as soon as I saw the article, I went, hang on a minute, they're in the same area. That's the same cave.
It could be. I mean, I'm sure there's hundreds of hidden caves in Ecuador. I know there is in Guatemala, all of Latin America, Spain, Portugal. I mean, there in every land there's hidden caves with stuff stashed in them.
Yep. So maybe there's more than one cave and there's still stuff out there. Like, but this is from.
Yeah.
For
Want
this
to go treasure hunting? I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This amount of stuff. It had to be a big collection. Like, there had to have been a lot of people
It had
over
to
a
be
period of time to leave
huge.
stuff behind.
It had to have been huge. Is Polly on his way tonight?
Yeah, when he gets here,
Okay.
hopefully.
Good.
Yeah, he always misses out on the good stuff. That's all right.
Roxy.
I missed that.
Roxy just totally smacked her mom in the face with her tail.
Constant. Well, she's right here. I gave up. I'm like moving forward.
Hey, she might have broken your hair in the middle of the night. That noise you heard the other night was her with the screwdrivers and that. What did your cat get up to that night while you were sleeping? So here he is with a heap of smaller stuff.
That staff is. There's two of them, right? They're beautiful. Wow.
Yeah, the staff is beautiful, eh? And look at all the stuff in the background, man. Like,
I mean, that's what Moses' staff would have looked like. You know that?
no,
Very
I don't.
similar. Yeah, because the description is his staff had,
Roxy.
that little image on the top of it, maybe not that one exactly,
But an image, yeah.
but it was the staff that they call it the staff that budded, which meant it always had buds growing off of it.
Oh, I get that. Yeah, that's what that's got on it.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And what kind of animal do you think is on top on the one on the roof?
I know from where I am, it looks like a poodle, but that wouldn't be.
I would say calf, but the top of it looks a little funny.
I haven't got my magnifying glass.
Is it?
It has a weird tail, like a dog, like a canine.
Right?
It looks like a dog.
But then it has the legs of like a cow.
Yeah, it could be a sheep. Oh, yeah, it is a cow with horns.
It's a cow with horns,
Yeah,
correct?
it is. I thought it was
It
a
just
sheep.
has
Well, a cow with horns.
A cow with horns.
Wouldn't that be the apex bull? The apis bull?
Well, that's what makes it even more like a Christian artifact, a religious orthodoxy artifact. So it very well could be a facsimile of Aaron's rod.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because there's one on the other side, but it's different. He's got two. That one stands out more.
Yeah, the other one is different, right?
No wonder they hid them, because if that correlates to that time and shows you like that was around, no wonder they hid them. That's direct.
And that the Vatican is deeply entrenched in keeping whatever they think is of any value.
Yeah, obviously we can't tell the populace the truth now, can we?
One day, wouldn't it be so cool if we get to see like the whole innards of that place exposed and everything that they've kept hidden from us?
Something about that word, innards.
The
It's a funny sounding word.
innards.
So there's another guitar, with a different shaped one with a longer neck. That looks quite large as well. And there's a huge round thing behind that. I don't know what that is. Some of these pictures aren't really clear because I had to get them off footage that was really old. There's the coins, and if you look at the coins, look, they're really crude. It's got a horse head. Look at the symbols. They're very crudely made, but that was whoever's money at the time. That's whose it was.
Most of the pictures would have been taken before 1982, so it makes sense that they would be kind of blurry.
There's one with a cross up there, all the different monies. They're all gold, obviously.
I'm going to ask Walter and some people about Crespi and see if they knew of him and see what kind of stories.
They look like decorations that you'd hang. I don't know.
Maybe like a breastplate type thing.
Could be, yeah. It could be from the neck there.
They do, but what it reminds me of, the image of the turtle on a turtle on a turtle on a turtle.
Oh yeah, you could be.
That's very religious iconography.
The moon with a nose. Is that where we got the picture from? Children, or that looks like it's copper, so not gold.
Yeah, that's more like Egyptian stuff, actually, and Babylonian.
Yeah, he's got such a variety of stuff, and these are the carved. I couldn't get a closer picture of that, and I don't know how to do it. Like technically, I don't know. Yeah, I didn't know how to bring it in without losing it. Yeah, I'm not that good, but I do my best. What I see is my best.
Try Control Plus. Just hit Control and the plus button at the same time. It might zoom it for you. Yeah.
An elephant. That looks like it's made of material, clay or something, and they just put all these jewels in it or something.
Mm-hmm.
That was really weird, that one. See the person? It's a person with a weird face again. Looks like
totem. Yeah, that's a totem. Olmec totem. Yeah, from the indigenous. Yeah.
Yeah, you see the mixture of stuff. So we've got the native people stuff really old, and then we've got other people's stuff really old. I found it so interesting.
Look how long the torso is.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a female, obviously. And there's a picture. The guy with who are they? They got a fish. He's got an axe and a spear on it, so that's metal.
Nineveh.
Mm-hmm.
You recognise that?
Oddly enough, that is tying into a big part of what's going on next week.
Wow.
Well, Nineveh and the eclipse, and Nineveh being 8 towns or thereabouts named Nineveh in the path of this eclipse.
Yeah. And don't worry, the world's not going to end.
Oh, I'm not.
Some people are really worried. People are asking me.
Yeah, some people are really stressed out about this one, but it's not. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of significance to it, but we just have a lot of...
The Matrix is getting a reboot.
Take the fear out.
It's time to go into the next cycle. You know, I mean, we've been in 10-year cycles since 2012 happened, and it just really it makes sense.
It'll be all right.
We're in the it has begun.
So there is a
wow. See, that's proof of giant right there.
A gold crown, a giant's gold crown. Fucking huge. Sorry, huge, eh?
And do you know what? Probably the giant didn't make that crown.
Probably not. Would have been made for him.
It would have been made, by the people he was ruling. And because I've been wondering, like, okay, we know there's the redhead cannibalistic giants, okay, that were really bad.
Yeah.
But were there also of kind of the same look redhead giants that were good?
They were, from what I've learned, they were like us, different hairs, different skins, all giants though, but not all of them were bad, because there's stories in other countries where the giants actually helped them build their village and help them fish and do all sorts of things. So what I looking around and things that I've learned is there were, like everyone, good and bad. But there was a point where food became a problem, but the good ones made sure they helped grow food. So they helped grow their own food so they wouldn't starve. And they fed the town as well, because they're giants. They can do stuff really quick. Anyway, but from what I gather, there were lazy giants, other places that never thought about growing food or anything. They just ate us.
See, that's what I heard too.
And I always look at us, because everything I look at, it's like, oh, we're like that. Some of us are good, some of us are bad. Some of us would help build things, others would just take. Like, it's like what's within the human being is reflected everywhere throughout history. There's good, there's bad, there's, all just like it's now. Anyways, we'll get on with this. So the giants, I love that. I love giants for some reason.
Me too.
This was a gold book. So it's a book made out of gold. I don't know what it was. They do connect it with the Sumerian thing. And there was a picture with a Sumerian thing, but I don't know if someone put that there or he actually had it. And because I wasn't sure, I didn't put it in, but that's where they come in there, the gold book. That would have been really interesting to read. And there's them gold things again. They're information markers, I would say, because they're not weapons. They could have been a giant's bookmark for all we know. They look like
I'm pretty sure they serve a purpose for something.
Yeah, they could have been a giant's hair stick, like what I wear, put a sticky to keep your bun up. Who knows? I think that's all I got. There it is. That's all I got. So there you go, people. Father Crespi collection that simply disappeared after Father Crespi passed away. So he guarded it really good while he was alive. And you can go and look at one of the videos and hear him speak. He speaks his own language, obviously, but when you hear him speak, he's very strong man. And when it comes to the truth, he's very strong and defensive. And he kind of said to the guy, when he showed him this, and he goes, "Oh, where's that from?" And he in his own language, you could see by his actions, he was sort of saying, "You idiot, can't you tell what they are? It's real." Because he was going, "It's real, it's real, it's gold." And the guy is asking questions and he's thinking, you can see with your own eyes what they are. So he's a very strong man like that. Bless him. So there you go, people. Father Crespi collection. I hope you enjoyed that. Where are we at? We're only half an hour in, and that's all I got now. That shows over no.
It's okay. I was going to look up something to see if I could back up a little bit on. I was going to bring up, that when we go on and we cry, the happy tears, they come out of our eyes sweet. And if we cry a sad and a bitter or very upset or angry or hurt kind of cry, those tears are bitter and salty.
Yep. And
kind of interesting, yeah.
From what I learned, we might as well get into this subject, and then we'll go for half an hour. We'll talk about this, and we'll have a break and look at some beautiful things. So from what I learned, there's some tears you let run down your face and you don't touch them. Other tears you wipe off with a tissue and you throw them in the bin because they're bad. They're no good for you. And it's like what you're saying. They're made up of, chemically, they're different. Some are acidy and some are sweet. Yeah, the sweet ones you leave on, and the acidy ones you got to take them off, wash them off, wipe them off, but get them off you. And then there's a time, I don't know if it's happened to you people, but I'm very sensitive, and if someone But I can tell if someone passes away and I'm not there, my spirit knows and I start crying.
Yeah,
No
me
reason,
too.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And depending on like how close they are, it's how hard the cry is, you know? Like when my grandpa died, I was just all night long. I cried and cried and cried. And then I found out like a very late, but it was just my own circumstances. I was off the grid. I had no contact with anybody for about a week as I was helping someone. So it ended up, I didn't hear the news until after I'd gotten done and back to my apartment that my grandpa had passed. And I was like, oh, that's why I was up crying all night. And that's why I saw the giant stag the next morning and all of this stuff happened. But yeah, he and I were really close.
I mean, there's tears of
He was like my
joy,
true dad in so
tears
many
of
ways.
sadness, tears of grief. There's something magical about tears. It's their crying is therapeutic, but the gypsy's tears, there's a magical element of tears. They're sought after for, I don't know.
Actually, yeah, I know what you're talking about. In the old days, tears were sought after. Now the stories you hear, we just go there. You know, that's just weird story from the past. Well, it's not. So, and you've probably heard of angels' tears, right? The reason angels' tears are so special is because they're the positive energy and they're so sweet. They actually heal things. And you're right, Jules. Different tears have different things, and you could actually collect them and use them for magic spells and stuff in the old days. All right.
I'd heard that before.
Yeah. You can do all sorts of things with them. And because of the property of the tear, through the emotion that they're made, and the body chemicals that go into them while you're in that emotion, out comes a tear, and they have different properties. Yeah. So in the old days, they'd collect them and do things with them, and as usual, you can use them for bad or use them for good.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen more than one movie come out of Hollywood, and it's not Gypsy and Pirates of the Caribbean. Was it 4 or 5? I lost count. Where they're after the mermaid's tear.
There you go, the mermaid's tears, yeah.
The siren's tears.
The mermaid's tear.
Yeah.
And then it was an old episode of Xena. They're after the tears of death.
Yeah, and a unicorn.
Yeah, tears have magical properties. Definitely. Interesting.
And children's tears, like, yeah, when you really get into it, there's a whole thing there. And it's not like you can go research this stuff. Well, I didn't research it. I'm just telling you, we're just discussing what.
No, I mean, I only found out about this for 5 minutes last night when I was lamenting about my day, and I was like, all right. And it was just such a crazy, chaotic today. I didn't get any chance to look into anything, but I just had those thoughts all day. It's like, what is it? The magical properties of tears, gypsy's tears, siren's tears, the tears of death. They all have their significance somewhere.
Yeah, they do. And sometimes all right. So because things are different in the past, the air was more magical and everything conducted different, and it will probably go back to that, hopefully. What was I going to say? Yeah, collecting tears was a thing. Oh, I forget exactly what I was going to say. Collecting tears was a thing. And they used them, even animal tears.
Spells. Yeah.
They're not letting me tell you anymore. Yeah, in case someone goes out doing it. I'll tell you something though. When you're talking about, Malia, about grieving and tears, you have to be really careful. This is what happened to me. I grieved so hard, I literally cried out my life force. yeah, I got to the point where my life force was diminishing. I'm like, wow, I've got to stop crying. I was crying way too much, and
Yep.
my life
Been
force was
there.
diminishing. I
Been
don't do
there. Big time because like um there have been several times in my life I hate crying and for some reason it's just like more than 75% of my life is crying. Seriously, it sucks. But it like so I let certain types of cries out. To others I try to hold in and be like, no, you can't
Mhm.
ruminate. You can't keep on going through these things in your head because every time you do, you freaking cry.
yeah,
You know? And it's just like, but other times it's like, okay, I need to go through this. But yeah, I just, there are times when you have to get your cries wrangled in and just say, okay, I'm going to deal with the crying part later. And because right now it's taking all of my energy to cry. And I just plain either like you're going through health issues or pregnancy or this kind of stuff, you're coming to the end of a pregnancy where all of your energy is going into healing your actual physical body. When you spend a lot of that energy crying, um it
takes it away from what you should be doing. Yeah,
yeah, it affects your body's ability to produce a child or to heal, you know,
yep,
at some point because there is a line between the healing from tears and hurting from tears. But tears can be healing. They're good for us too. So yeah, I hate crying. I don't like this topic, Luna.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but it just
I'm
came out.
trying to be strong.
What I want to tell you is that for
I'm
people
gonna start crying before it's over.
who should have put something
I've
in the
cried enough this week for all of us.
there you go.
Oh,
So basically, gifted people, some are gifted, and this could be you. Some are gifted with the fact that we actually cry for others, right? So we'll be crying, going, "Why the hell am I crying? Nothing's happening in my world." And you can actually feel the emotion come out. It's not your emotion, and you'll find out probably later someone's going through things. And as Malia just explained, sometimes you can't cry. You haven't got enough energy to cry, and you've got to put it off for later. So another kind soul somewhere else that's connected to you spiritually will cry for you,
yeah,
and they'll do the crying
I've
for
had
you.
that happen before.
Yeah. And then you're ready and strong enough, you can cry, and it probably won't be as much because someone's done it for you. In our culture, crying's a thing. So if someone passes away, old way, we'd get all the women together and we'd induce the crying, and we'd all cry together. We'd cry for them, we'd cry for us, we'd cry for everything. It was actually a thing. Get all the crying out of the way so we can get on with things that need to be dealt with. And that could go on for a couple of days, and we'd walk around with leaves and water and purify people as they were crying and wailing and getting all that out. So it is a thing, right? It's not just, oh, you're crying, it's an emotional thing. It's not, it's actually a deep spiritual thing that affects you physically as well. So, and your mind. So there's people that, cry for other people. If you've got the energy, extra energy, and you're crying for somebody, that's probably what's going on. Upstairs is when they can't handle it at the moment. We need you to cry for them. And I've said that to people. I've done that. I've said, I'll cry for you. I'll cry for you. And that's what we do. Do you want me to cry for you, Millie?
I think you have in our world.
I didn't think this was like an Olympic sport where we pass the baton.
Fill up the bucket, who can cry the most?
Here's the bucket. Carry it to the next person.
And no feeding, no
Next.
sweatbox in there.
Yep.
Before you stop, put some of your tears in there and pass it along.
Mhm.
Yeah, crying. I might
No,
do
we didn't talk about the tears of a clown.
Oh, that's
a clown's
interesting.
real, but clowns aren't really real, you know that.
No, that song just popped in
They're
my
actually
head.
a person dressed up. It's like a police officer. They're actually a person. Oh, sorry. That slipped out, but you get it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But clowns' tears, what are they? Because funny you mentioned clowns.
What was the tears of a clown?
Sad.
Dun, dun, dun.
I remember them pictures. I actually had one of a sad clown, and I never liked it. Remember them? They were from the 70s, were they?
That was a bad joke, Roxy, wasn't it?
All right. But nowadays, clowns aren't the happy little thing that we grew up with. Clowns are mostly evil demons that are coming to get you for something.
Yeah, clowns creep me out.
We were kind of living in clown world.
Yeah. There, I knew I had a banner or something, the energy behind crying and the property of tears. So, and I'm just flicking in my mind about stories in history where they say the main character cried. Like, is there any stories about the gods crying? You know? And if a giant cried, would they make the flood? And what's in giants' tears? Were giants' tears healing? Giants' tears would have been healing, you know. Imagine trying to steal a giant's tear. You need a really big bucket.
We couldn't lift it.
You wouldn't be able to lift it, no. So yeah, I was wondering, is there anything about tears in
There might be, like I'm saying, I wish I had a little bit more time to look into some stuff.
I just threw this in.
Because there's a lot of I feel like there's a lot of stuff to uncover here.
Yeah, I think let's have a look.
We might be able to actually come back and revisit this.
Tears.
I'm almost certain that there's got to be some kind of creation myth with giants and tears and oceans and.
I should have done more, but anyway. I never thought about it, I just thought I would have a yarn and see what we come up with, but then I realised, hang on, this.
No, I mean, and on the surface, it looks like a good conversation, but then when you get all of us together, I mean, it's all layered. We always say something and think of something else and think of something else.
So basically, just what I'm pulling out of thin air here. Tears were generally considered to be crucial for one's purification to cleanse the soul. We'll just discuss that. Without tears, there could be no repentance. The connection between crying and purification is fairly universal, as it has been found in many cultures and throughout history. So that's what I was trying to say to you.
So I'm going to go out on a limb and say, years ago, there used to be a popular series of books, Chicken Soup for the Soul.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say that tears are the chicken soup of the soul, for the soul.
Yeah.
Because with tears, I mean, if you don't release them, you don't expel them, you don't grow, you don't learn anything, you don't move on.
Yeah.
Like tears are essential in personal growth and spiritual growth and development.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell people that when you're trying to expel things, energy from your body, it comes out these ways. And I don't mean to be crude. Come on. There's crying, sweating, vomiting, weeing. You know what I'm getting. So the expressed out the body uses one, and there's the other functions that also do it. Because sometimes, sorry about that.
No, it's beautiful.
Sometimes the sickness that you're having needs to come out in different ways. And I think if we understood how healing works better, we could virtually just cry and never get sick. But it has to come out. So if you get a fever and sweat, that's actually similar to crying. It's your body trying to get rid of this fluid in the body, and it needs to get out so you can heal. It's kind of the same kind of thing. Oh, that's all right. I can call them back. No big deal. All right. So it's very important. Tears are an easier way of extracting these things out of your body. But like I said, you can't do too much of it because it'll be like having a fever or vomiting too much. If you cry too much, it starts to take from you instead of doing its job and just removing stuff. So the good stuff will come back in.
What are your thoughts on unwanted tears?
They're the ones you
want. I say unwanted as in when you're cutting up an onion.
And your water tears.
You cut up an onion and you cry. You get, there's some kind of, I think it's the oxygen and the sulfur something. It's a mixture of air and a chemical in the onion, because if you cut an onion raw, room temperature, you're more likely to tear up and cry as opposed to if you have that onion chilled, refrigerated, or frozen.
Yep, and then rinsed in water. Exactly.
I found literature on it. It just looks really. I'm not going to do it. If I do find really juicy literature on crying, like I'm sure there's something there. Tears of history. What I want to say, maybe the reason that tears dropped in because it just came out of nowhere. I was talking to Polly, who didn't come this week. I hope you're all right, Polly. Anyway, there's a rise in sensitivity. So all the gifted people, you probably noticed that you're way more sensitive than normal and you're picking up on things left, right and centre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if you're crying for nothing, there's a lot of stuff happening in the world. You're probably crying for them. And whether you're a gifted human being or not, as human beings, we are still connected to everything. So if there's people dying in other countries overseas, which they are right now, your soul, your spirit is going to feel it and you'll probably cry. And you might think it's you and think, why am I getting so emotional over this thing? You just stop for a second and go, I'm a human being, I'm connected to every other human being in the world and the earth. And if it is external from you and you think that, you'll know straight away. It'll just stop for a second and you'll realise it's something from outside of you. So because there's a lot happening in the world at the same time. Everything's happening kind of at the same time.
There's a lot of panic right now that I'm picking up on, and it's unnecessary. Absolutely. It's totally unnecessary right now. We need to not be in panic. We need to be being calm as we come through this eclipse. It's okay to observe it, I believe. I don't think any harm will come to you in the observation of it. Right, Luna? But it's the energy that's coming with this is very Aries. It's, there's a lot of strength, and it can even be, it really easily turn to rage or anger or frustration in this like transition through the eclipse and stuff. It's just the way it is. So the best thing to do when confronted with Aries energy is to remain calm.
Yep. Just sit down and hang on to the chair and stay calm.
Stay calm. Stay indoors if you want. Do your thing as far as like just maintaining within your personal stuff. Basically what I'm trying to say, try to not interact with the outside people that are not part of like your tribe, shall we say, or your regular interactions with, because it's
terms for me, stay in your lane.
Very much stay in your lane.
Keep your arms and
your
arms and your hands inside the tram and stay in your lane.
Try not to make any major decisions during this week. Why I say that too, because in Ari's energy, we can make decisions in anger, and that usually ends up being the wrong kind of decisions. So, like, usually when we're going through transition week, especially eclipse energy, like, we just want to stick to, if the decision hasn't been made yet, it can wait until the following week. If it's something that, like, we're an emergency, of course you have to take care of decisions that are of
Well,
that
and
case.
I looked at the
But
calendar, and Monday, the eclipse is a new moon.
it's going with that lunar energy too, coming in really strong force, and it's going straight through Aries. So it's like, hold on. Kind of a fact. It really is. Like, today's kind of been a preview. I had a crazy, weird shit day, but it really wasn't that bad. I just maintained my calm and was like, okay, next.
Well, on the East Coast here today, in my world, there was a bad accident at the intersection in front of my store where police, fire trucks, ambulance was busy. And then later on in the day, had to evacuate the store because there was a gas leak. And that was after there was an earthquake that went up the East Coast.
Yeah, the earthquake, yeah. And
Yeah.
meanwhile, over here in my world, we just went through 2 or 3 days of rain and we were on a flood alert. Then we got up this morning, not a cloud in the
Same.
sky, the earth drank all the water, and it's like, wow. So
Yeah, we're California's flooding. We're being drenched. We keep getting rain, and then a couple days of sunshine, and then more rain, and it's like, oh my
I mean,
gosh.
it's just coincidental that this
Wow.
ties into biblical scripture.
Yeah.
there's a lot of that with even everything that's happening, the cicadas, the whole lot, everything's all happening at once, and everyone's tied it to all these different things.
In the next few days, you're gonna hear about the red heifers.
Oh,
Yeah,
then I don't
that's
wanna know.
already started to come
I
out.
don't believe in sacrifice.
Silly.
The masses will hear about the red heifers.
I believe that being here is a sacrifice.
Fuck, I have to do this shit again.
It's a crazy cow.
So if you're alive and you're here, that's a big sacrifice. You know what it takes to live in this world. All right, let's look at something beautiful, I reckon, eh?
Yeah.
About time, and then we'll go and have a little quick 2-minute break and come back with the word of the week. And Brother Polly hasn't showed up, and it's his job, so I'm going to hand it to someone else. So let's look at some beautiful things, and we'll come back and enjoy the fire a bit more. Where's my beautiful things? Beautiful things. Here we are. Well, here we go.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was thinking that I can smell cinnamon oil and stuff. Yeah. Man, even my smell is intuitive. I smell things that aren't around. It's like the other day, I was smelling something from another time. It was really weird. Oh, and that's what I wanted to say too before we go on with the beautiful things. They reckon they're going to turn CERN on. I'm telling you now, they already turned it on.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're gonna activate it on the eclipse, but they've already started warming it up on 3/22 Skull and Bones.
Yep,
They do every year on that one.
Everyone I know that's spiritual, well, not everyone, but some of us are experiencing time dilations and looking up and realizing that we're not actually where we should be. We're somewhere else, and then we come back to where we are. Yeah, so they can't hide nothing from us. We still know what's going on. We can feel it. Mm-hmm. All right, so what we got here, some beautiful things. Let's look at some beautiful things.
I love that.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, that's kind of awesome.
That's the kind of library you want, eh?
Yeah, just keep on going the whole wall, and then we can build the whole house just like that.
Just sounds good to me. The beautiful things are everywhere. You just got to look. And I'm not a car person, but I still find beauty in these things. And yeah, I had to chuck food in this time.
Yum.
Yum.
This is going to make you hungry, everyone. So lucky we'll go to a 2-minute break after this, and you can run and have a snack.
I love strawberries. That looks amazing. Oh, that's so cool.
That's beautiful. Like, oh, you wouldn't want to eat it. It's so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
That is exquisite, I thought. And Polly missed it. Never mind.
Yeah.
Look at that one. That is actually a cake, people. Like, wow.
Yeah. I love this stuff.
Wow.
And that one, I had to chuck it in. It was just like, that's a piece of art, man. That's not a piece of cake. That is a piece of art. Like, wow.
Yeah.
I did get hungry after doing this, by the way.
I got coffee if you got cake.
And if you're going to make a honey cake, that's what you're going to make.
Yum.
And look at that one. I know. Imagine being served food like that all the time. You'd think you were in heaven.
Wow.
Yeah. That's beautiful. People actually go for this. Okay, no more food.
I was gonna say, that's not cake.
No, we're moving on from food now. I could go back and look at it again, and then I'd have to get up and eat something. Some beautiful flowers. I found that really strange. It's kind of, I don't know. It's real. You got caught up in something. Oh, that's one of ours. That's a grevillea.
It looks like the passion flower.
Yeah. It's actually
an ancient version of the passion flower.
That's
yeah.
I could have seen this happening in the dinosaurs walking around. Like,
yeah, you got it. A lot of our plants are like that. You can actually look at them and go, wow, they were there when the big ones were around.
Right.
Yeah, we've still got a lot of them. That's actually that's a painting of a flower. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Mm. Yeah, that was in a competition. They had to paint flowers, exotic flowers, and he won. So beautiful stuff.
There's a lot of depth, dimension in that painting.
A nice old Volkswagen, a bug, a beetle, and I just thought that was beautiful.
It's cute.
It is, isn't
It's
it?
a bat. Little batty.
Okay.
That batty.
It's a little girl bat.
Fern Gully.
With pink flowers.
I want to name it Wom, so it's a wombat.
Yeah.
A wombat. That's funny.
If I ever get a pet bat, I'm still in that, Jules.
Yeah, wombat.
Yeah.
Please do. I hope no
That
copyright
could happen.
do it.
Bats stick around me. I usually always have bats around me.
And I'll get a wombat and call him Batty.
They're so cute. I've had them fly into my house. It's just like, oh.
Yeah, I thought there's different ones of that, but I'll save them for next time. I'll show you the other ones next time. But that one was beautiful. I imagine having that light. And I had to chuck that in.
That's cool.
Yeah, isn't it?
That.
Knocking on the door. Who?
Creepy.
The doorbell. The doorbell goes, who?
When you leave, you can say, I'll be back.
Yeah.
I'm totally getting like Skull and Bones vibes. Like Skull and Bones vibes or something going on here. This has got some dark connotations around it, though. Like those big black eyes, right?
Yeah, I wonder if they can actually see through them on the other side.
Yeah.
That's what you'd have, so you can see who's at your door.
Right.
And
it kind of creeps me out how there are some images that you see of owls, and then you think of the grays. It's like
they look the
similarity between the size and. It's a topic for. I guess it's a topic for another time.
I've never seen one except for
it's a dome house. That's pretty.
Isn't that beautiful? There were a couple of them.
Yeah. It's
Yep,
got
they
all glass,
yeah.
stained glass windows,
Yeah.
Nervous, man.
orange
I'd
and
be nervous that
blues.
I'd be nervous it would hail or a tree branch would drop on them.
I would be worried about, yeah, exactly. Like hail the size of tennis balls
Yeah.
Yep.
or a tree being blown into it.
Oh, and I like that
Ah,
one.
that's cool.
Library, isn't it cute? Little library.
Mhm.
And that's all I got from beautiful things this week. So remember that beautiful things are everywhere. You just got to choose to look at them. Especially if you're feeling a bit depressed, go out and look at something beautiful. And it could be anything. They're everywhere. You just got to find them. Could be anything. Okay, so we're going on a little break. Hang on, where's me? Oh, I've got to, once I figure out what I'm doing here. Hang on, here we are. Hi. All right.
Hi.
I do have a slide that says we're going on a little break for a minute. Back in a minute.
Yes, because the well has run dry.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll be back in a sec, people. I'll leave you for a little bit of music, and we'll be 2 minutes just to wet our whistle and maybe grab a piece of that yummy cake.
I wish I had some. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go get some yummy. Ooh, I know what
I'm going to partake in some other stuff.
raspberry dark chocolate
Oh,
cake.
yeah, raspberries.
Devil's food cake
2
sounds good
minutes.
about
Come
right.
back with a cuppa. We've got more to yarn about.
Okay.
Here's me yakking on and I was muted. So I'm back.
You're crackling. So it's a good sign of a good time when you hear crackling.
Yeah, it is a. So we still got some more stuff. We've got word of the week, and I've got some things to show you. And from last week's word of the week, it kind of carried on for this week. And I'll wait till Malia gets back and we'll look at the word of the week. Oh, pardon me. While we're there, no, I'll wait, because I don't like people missing out on stuff. So we'll enjoy the fire for a minute. Like I said, I hope you got a drink or something. Chill out. It's Friday or Saturday, wherever you are. Saturday here. And daylight saving starts for us tomorrow. So next week, I don't know, the show might be an hour earlier. I don't know. I've got to figure it out. Every time this happens, because we're especially across the world, silly daylight saving comes in and mucks everything up, and us poor humans have to get the calculator out and figure out what the time's going to be. So, but we'll be here. We'll be here. Hopefully we'll have something interesting.
I'm back.
Malia's back.
Maths.
Let's get rid of something.
You know what?
What?
Did Polly give you that music?
Polly?
Did the music come from Polly?
No, not that one, but the beginning of the show is Polly's, yes.
Yeah. No, I loved that song. That I was totally digging that, and then it suddenly went quiet. I was like, we could just like keep right on talking with the music down low. I was totally grooving to it.
It was like choice of crackling fire or ambient music.
I love it because I put like lo-fi music on,
Yeah.
for me and Kitty to listen to.
Yeah.
Come here, baby.
I listen to Hertz music, the right frequency, because I don't know if people out there know, but the mainstream music you listen to is on the wrong hertz. And there's a thing called Hertz music, and it's different frequencies that music's played on. And you can play them on a positive hertz, which makes things grow, or you can play a negative hertz, which makes things decay. And a lot of the mainstream music is played on the not nice hertz. So I don't tend to listen to it anymore. Yeah, I listen to music. You can access, people have gone out there and changed it, and you can listen to your music on the right hertz. You just got to go and find it somewhere in computer land.
Well, water and sound healing therapy and all of this stuff is a very real thing.
It is.
Water is alive. It's an ultra important part of, what makes up our universe. Every part of it is so important. And like the blessing of holy water, and talking to the water before you drink it harmonizes it before you give it to your plants.
Yep.
Which I need to take that. I've been neglecting my plants a little bit.
Do what I call magic baths. They're not magic, it's just a bath. And you put things in the bath like natural salts and stuff, which enhances the vibration of the bath. And then you get in the bath and it helps your water to do the same thing. And we were talking about tears. Their water, yeah. So I'm glad you brought that up. We should have brought that up before, but I'm glad you brought it up, Malia, because, the tears that you cry are water, the same property,
Well, this Saturday, tomorrow, we have Julia on. Do you remember Julia?
Yes, I do.
We got her on for Saturday, and one of her big things is talking about water. And so I'm going to get her talking about it and stuff. So I'm excited. You guys got to be there.
Yeah, I'll be there. Everyone get over and watch the show on Multi-Bosnia.
It'll be a fun one. Yeah.
And don't forget to listen in to Polly. Polly's not here, but Polly's on IBN, is it called?
Yeah, me and Polly are doing 1987 tomorrow on IBN, starting at 2:00 East Coast time.
Yeah, and in the near future, me and Polly are going to do a show on frequency, and we're going to cover everything. It's going to be we might have to make it 2 shows because we just keep gathering more information on frequency and how it affects fluids and objects and all kinds of things, water, everything. So it's time that we learn the truth, people, about our surroundings and what we're made of, and that's coming out. So watch all these shows and listen to the radio. You can't put everything in one show. I've learned that you can't put all this information in one show. You got to go listen to other things, because one person, even though we all know this information, you can't get it all out. Like, you forget to say stuff. And anyone that's done a show or radio, when it's finished, you go, "Oh, I should have talked about that."
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But yeah, it's not long enough. You just got to keep coming back. Yeah, that's how I know. So we just had beautiful things, and I actually have a little clip of a child and a bird, which I thought was the most beautiful, and it might make you cry, so you get a tissue.
Go get your hanky. Go get your hanky.
Oh my gosh. Rowan. Hello. Hi, big baby. Hello.
This is the end of beautiful things. I think this is the one. Hang on, I'll just check. Frequency. I do have a
Get your hanky.
What about frequency? I've got something with frequency, but I'm saving it for the show we do with Polly, because we're going to do Ollie's radio show, and then we're going to come here live and do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is it. Hang on,
they could spend hours just playing. Russell is a wild bird. He's not around all the time, but when Otto is outside, he will never leave Otto's side. When we go inside, he will sit outside the window because he wants Otto to go outside with him. When I pick up Otto from kindergarten, Russell will sit on our roof and make sure that Otto is home. Even though Russell and Otto are really great friends, I never leave them unsupervised. Russell would only allow Otto to pet him. Whenever I tried, he would leave. They have a special bond.
Oh, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Cool or what? What happened to me fire? Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh no, I've mucked it up. That's all right. I've got more stuff to show you. So that was supposed to go on the end of beautiful things. So I found that quite beautiful. And the bird only liked him. I do have something funny.
I have water. Makes fish happy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's salinity in there.
Water makes me happy.
Fish tears.
Yeah.
And I regret doing that. I really do. In my broken chair.
Oh, yeah, I found it. Did you know, I'm going to play this. Did you know overseas there's a country that puts animals first? So we're just going to have a look at that.
In Turkey, there are no stray animals because any corner can be their home. When small animals cross the road, traffic police will guide them. The small animals seen everywhere on the streets are not chased away by people, no matter where they appear. Even in chance encounters, people are friendly, caring, and respectful towards them. Small animals can take rides in vehicles, and they even appear in live news broadcasts. They coexist with humans, trusting each other. This is because the people of Turkey believe love for animals is another kind of love. Those who do not love animals cannot truly love others. In Turkey,
Oh.
Yay! You're back!
I see you. I'm not filling tags this year. Hey, Nick, what do you feed an alligator? Anything it wants.
These are the aliens at the shopping centre that they couldn't find them.
Oh. Dad,
says, "No, son." Where do you take someone?
Oh, I hope you enjoyed that.
Wow.
Fire back again. Is that funny? I hope that makes you laugh.
I don't even know. Yeah, they're funny. They're funny.
Funny, eh? It's only because they're aliens.
Where would we be without goofy boys to keep us laughing?
I
I
know.
mean,
It was funny. Yeah.
leave it to men.
All right, so we got the word of the week. Word of the week is serenity. So after last week weirdness and this week's transitional away from weirdness, hopefully we're going into serenity. And Polly's not here to drive this word, so we have to do it. Let's check it out. And the reason we're not prepared for these words is because I pull them out intuitively before the show. The birds are into it again. So, isn't there a game called Serenity?
Well, there's a 2005 film. Hey, and in Virginia, there's a Serenity Funeral Home.
Sorry about that. The birds are pretty loud. So, the state or quality of being serene, calm, or tranquil. You were just saying that, Malia, about what's coming to stay calm. So serenity is the word. Sereneness, usually a title of honour, respect, or reverence. Serenity, used in speaking of or to certain members of royalty. Well, there's no royalty around here, so we don't need that. What else we got?
Serenity means the quality or state of being serene, calm, or tranquil. It can also be a title of honor for some members of royalty.
Composure, tranquility, peacefulness, peace of mind. So yeah, exactly what we're saying. Keep your composure, stay calm, no matter what you hear or say going on in the next week. Just chill out and get on with your own stuff. And tranquility, serenity, they're kind of the same thing, but they're different. Serenity is the plural noun. Is
Here I am muted.
I've never heard of serenities. Have you heard of serenities?
Sereniteers.
Serenities. Serenity.
So, etymologically, serenity is a noun from the mid 15th century. It comes from the word serenite, fair, calm, clear weather. From the Old French and the modern French, serenite, and directly from Latin, serenitatem, nominative serenitas, clearness, serenity, from serenus, see serene, of person's tranquility of mind or temper by the 1590s, also formerly used as a title of honor for kings in the mid 15th century, probably from the similar use of Latin serenitas, which was applied to Roman emperors and later to popes. Do you want me to read serene?
Go for it,
yeah. Okay, mid 15th century, of a day, clear, fair, and calm. From Old French serene, and directly from Latin serenus, peaceful, calm, clear, unclouded, of weather. Figuratively, cheerful, glad, tranquil. In English, the word has been applied to persons, characters, etc. Tranquil, unruffled. Middle English also had serenus, of places having clear, fair weather. So it's related to tranquility. Serene tranquility, right?
Yeah, I've seen that relationship. Even though
Oddly enough, tranquility, serene. Here's how it's going through my brain right now. Serene, tranquility are both associated with the moon. You have Selene, who is so close to Serene being a moon goddess, and then you have Tranquility Bay on the moon.
Wow. There you go. Actually, Serene, imagine calling your daughter Serene. It's a pretty name. So there you are. That's the word of the week, people. Serenity, stay calm, stay tranquil. Yeah. I like that word. I'm going to leave it up now. I like serenity. I like to feel serene inside. We're like a pool, you know. We are. We're talking about water and emotion. We've got water in our body. We tear and that.
I have a fun quote about serenity. Do you want to hear it?
Please.
Am I muted? Okay, no, good. I have, and this is from Addison Spectator, May 17th, 1712. I have always preferred cheerfulness to mirth. The latter I consider as an act, the former as a habit of the mind. Mirth is short and transient, cheerfulness fixed and permanent. Those are often raised into the greatest transports of mirth, who are subject to the greatest depressions of melancholy. On the contrary, cheerfulness, though it does not give the mind such an exquisite gladness, prevents us from falling into any depths of sorrow. Mirth is like a flash of lightning that breaks through a gloom of clouds and glitters for a moment. Cheerfulness keeps up a kind of daylight in the mind and fills it with a steady and perpetual serenity. What do you think? It's kind of interesting. Fun. I love old stuff. That was on the etymology about our words. So
Cool.
Seemed like a fit.
And that's all we've got this week. It's a short show. We're just going to yarn around the campfire. I've got nothing else. I'm looking for something to pop up, and I haven't got nothing. Life's like that sometimes. I did notice something. The last few shows I've done are all about caves. And it wasn't on purpose. I just picked the subject and then realised, oh, that's a cave. Father Crespi stuff come out of a cave. We did the giant cave last, the Yulong cave. I'm thinking all these things in caves.
That's okay. We'll just call this episode "We Came Out of the Cave" because we did.
Well,
our ancestors were cavemen. We came out of the cave.
I realised I did all these shows on caves. I actually got a fear. To me, this is what a scary movie is. People going into a cave, whether it be underwater or not, they're going into a cave, they get stuck in there and there's some sort of creature in there. That scares it scares the shit out of me. And I think maybe they're trying to get me over caves by doing all these shows and going, look, not all caves are bad, it's okay. But I noticed that we're just doing stuff about that. Like I said, it's not intentional. I just, whatever happens, happens. Who knows what we're going to come up with next week? We don't know. All right. So is there anything you want to yarn about, ladies? Besides what's going to happen this week?
Either way, it's going to be epic. The world's going to go on. The biblical people are, it's end times.
Yeah.
Us conspiracy tinfoil hatters, where we told you so. We knew this was coming. But I mean, we're just going through a reset. We're going to a new matrix. Things are going to be different. And if we all just keep going, just stay calm, be serene through this week, don't make any judgments, let time pass. When you hear news articles, do the old thorough, give it 72 hours, let it settle. Then do your research, make your decision. Don't be hasty. The world's still going to be there. It's just going to be a little different. But that's the whole point of this, is people are freaking out about what could be potentially good. I mean, there's a shift. I mean, there's things in the sky that are saying, hey, look at this, pay attention. And when you see this, you can make change. Let's make change.
Yeah, nothing spectacular. Like, it'll probably come and go, and people get disappointed because nothing spectacular happened. Nothing. They've never seen any big notice. The change is everything new.
Well, and the big change essentially takes an entire year to transition through. So it's really not till January of, well, actually, we just started the year. So in spring equinox of next year, that we'll actually have some effects of whatever is decided. And karma's the one doing a lot of the deciding this year.
Wasn't it literally wasn't in olden times? Wasn't the new year literally just this week? Back in the days of Caesar? Wasn't the new year April 1st?
Yucatan, Mayas are all this way, understood the calendar this way. Egyptians understood the calendar. Even ancient Hebrews understood the calendar that the year begins in the spring, at the spring equinox. There's no doubt about it. It's only this Roman calendar since Caesar times, but Nicene, that we've been forced under the rule of this kind of timekeeping, and it does affect us. We may think like, oh, well, how this is, it's no big deal, whatever, it doesn't matter, but it does. It makes a huge.
I mean, look at all these eons of time that have passed since that's gone in. This, I mean, potentially can be messing up with. I often talk about timelines, our timeline being hijacked, messed up. This potentially could have set our timeline up to be this way.
To really mess with our heads and our brains and the way our DNA sequencing.
Yeah, because I mean, even going back to the secret societies before the flood, a select few always had that knowledge. Even when the flood came, they still knew about it. Mm-hmm. I mean, how do you control when you have the information you control, and when you change things like this, it's massive. I mean, it's easy for me. I can see with that how things are so bad today. It makes perfect sense how it could have started way back thousands of years ago.
Yeah, well, and like on a very basic level, women have a monthly cycle, right? Or a cycle that comes around that matches the moon. Mm-hmm. It's regarding timing, right? There's some kind of timing sequence going on here. And so if we can at least say that women have a natural affinity to matching the timing of the earth and the planets and the sun and the moon and the stars, and like there's something involved with this having to do with you as a female. As a male, I think it's applicable too, but in a different way, where the male is more attentive to the earth and the agricultural and the fruit that it can produce.
But right? The male does affect get the lunar effects as well. 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, big time. Yeah. So like starting your year in the middle of the darkest, deepest part of the entire cycle, rather than the bright new life of the cycle. It will affect you. It will start to be like messing with your head. And, I've kept it as a pagan for many years now. And to me, it just since the Maya taught it to me, they're like, the year starts now. We just let those Romans do whatever they're going to do because they conquered. Okay. But the basic of the story is things start to grow.
Which is history.
Yeah.
Well, for us, your beginning of the year is our end of the year because we're ending our year by going into winter. We don't have the same, as you know, we don't have none of what was up there, the colonists Didn't come here till 200 and something years ago, so we're still fresh out of the water.
We think Australia is just one day ahead of us. It's actually 6 months ahead of us.
So the year's finishing now. I'll tell you next year. No, actually, I've been saying to people, I'll leave you a message on Monday or Tuesday because we're ahead of you, and if I'm still alive, you will be too. That's a theory, anyway.
It's kind of a Schrodinger's cat one, though. Unless you look inside the box, we don't know. Right?
I forget what I was going to say. I'll do that. I have it in my head, and I think I'd like to discuss with everyone else first, and then let's go. Unless I write it down. You can only store so much information in your brain at one time. That's what I say. A lot of people are going to be disappointed because they're waiting for something big like that to happen to change the world, and when it don't happen, they'll look like it's not fair. Nothing's changed.
And that's the thing. I think a lot of people are going to be waiting for something physical to happen when, for me, it's all spiritual.
Yeah, it would be spiritual. Oh, that's what I want to say. We've had earthquakes. I was saying something. Oh, well, we've had earthquakes lately, big ones. That started. Lots of rain, like I said. Things are changing. I forget. When I remember what I was going to say, I'll just say it. But it comes like that. So the earthquakes, there was something funny about them they wanted me to tell you. They're on the march, they're moving, and for us to get earthquakes, as many as we've had in the last few weeks, is very unusual. And it'll be interesting. And I think whatever's going to happen, it's spiritual. It's on a spiritual level, and it happens to the person.
Mm-hmm.
So then what's going on
from the religious people that I've been I think it's more spiritual for me, because I've never, in my entire time that I've got spare time, I find myself mostly following just different types of religious people that aren't overly preachy, but are. I dropped a link, and Malaya, I'll share it with you if you're interested. I found if churches taught sermons like this guy, because he actually, I think there are a few that actually they teach the actual Bible, what's in the Bible. And
Are you talking about Trey and
no, I found that I was tuned in because he looks like a vampire hunter. But he started speaking. He was speaking New World Order, Klaus Schwab, Noah Harari, the Red Sea, Moses, everything, and how what's going on in the world today ties in with the Bible, how you can break it down, and literally you can see, I'm seeing through these Bible people that this is the reset. This is what's coming. It's spiritual. Everybody's going to have to face it. It depends. How it affects you is your spiritual aptitude. So, I mean, I've been, and I don't know if it's
I agree with that.
of the eclipse, the celestial events going, but I'm finding that, and it's definitely helping me, because I'm a godless heathen, I'm a pagan, but there is a creator out there, and I'm feeling some kind of energy already. So I'm finding, okay, that's what this is. This is what this is. So I'm not poo-pooing any information, whether it's mainstream, whether it's religious, whether it's political, because it's like conspiracy theory. Everything always ties together.
And these things are happening. The cicadas are coming. The earthquakes are happening. Mm-hmm. The pattern of the eclipses are documented. Like, they're all happening, and they're all happening together. But yeah, the outcome isn't what people like. They're hyping up the fear big time to get people full of fear. Like, yeah, don't be afraid. It's happening. What's been happening to the world has been happening for a while. It's only now that people are noticing it. It's been happening for ages. Other people have noticed it for years, and they've probably tried to tell people about it, and they've gone, "Yeah, we don't notice
Yeah.
it." Now people are noticing it, so it's different. I've got building. It's noisy on this end of the screen. So be all good and sing. I bet you when you watch a show with Malia tomorrow, and the lady that's coming on, she'll tell you how singing and sound affects your water. And if you sing, it don't matter what you sing, even if you can't sing and you just make chanting sounds, that's okay, or you just go la 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 la. It doesn't matter. The frequency that you're raising up to is what counts, and you change the water in your body and you raise your frequency, and then everything, it flows out to everything around you, and so on and so forth. It's no
Like,
magic.
for example, whenever I take a bath, it's very important to put on some kind of sound healing therapy music because that affects your water, to do like a detox, right? That's kind of what's on the theme of the week is also detoxification, detoxifying your life, your
Yes, and I'm gonna
system, your water.
do that, and then I'm gonna smudge myself.
Yes. But yeah, I see a lot more stuff around water cleansing, with the summing up in the sage and stuff with the smoke cleanse. Totally. But the water part is really, really important this week. I think it's just kind of, I've been
It
having it in my head since yesterday. It's like,
is
okay,
important.
I gotta stay in the
We,
water this week.
in my culture, we actually have holy water. We use water and smoke and fire. We use both.
Yeah.
We have holy water and we splash it on people.
Uh-huh.
And if you get water, so what I do when I remember it on my water filter, I actually write words like love and real positive words. I write them with chalk on the container of the water, because whether you know it or not, that word goes into the water. It's the same as speaking it, even though it's written. It's the same kind of thing. Speaking is a more stronger, but if you write it on there, you're sleeping for 24 hours. While you're not there, it's still going in the water. So you can write health, like good health. You can write all sorts of things on your water containers and stuff like that. It will still affect the water. I just like to speak into it. It's a lot quicker. But you do see containers of water with writing on them in my house.
Yeah, and it's interesting too how the shape and size of certain buildings, like ancient cathedrals and stuff, how those are shaped to navigate or manipulate the frequencies of
Yeah.
sound and vibration, which also affects that water, which was the central focus point of most of those churches, is to have that big, huge vat of the holy water.
Yeah, like Rosslyn Chapel and Notre Dame.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rosslyn is totally all about sound and
And
changing.
before they were
it.
churches, and that is what people remember, before the religion took them over, they were functionable buildings in a beautiful society. They weren't actually a church.
Mhm.
They were the
Yeah.
functional part of keeping everything beautiful, because you had your bells, right? A lot of had organs in them, the piano things to make beautiful sound, but the bells were it. And you're right, they were made to higher the frequency of all the water around them. And the cities, I think they call them star forts and that a lot of them are built in, they were shaped in the right shapes. It's a fascinating era, but the beauty about that whole subject is that that's life, the essence of life.
Yeah.
Because everything's got water in it. And
I wonder if the bell ringers back in the day of those cathedrals, if that was like a coveted job to be the bell ringer.
I doubt it though.
I
Because
mean,
like
as
the
far as,
hunchback
as far as frequency with all those bells, the big bells, the little bells.
Yeah. No, I think it would take a special person, and that we have a kind of a stamp through history that it's been certain people being the bell ringers.
Probably a deaf person.
Interesting.
I mean, not trying to be mean or anything, but a deaf person would be the ideal candidate for that.
Or a very large person, like we'll go back to
Or
giants.
blind.
If you're a giant, then bells wouldn't be very loud to you, but they'd be loud to us. Do you get it? So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because the ears would be bigger, it'd be a small sound. And you know, in them buildings we're talking about that are churches now, in them you'll see a little stair thing that goes up, and it's got a little platform for someone our size to stand on them. And I'm sure people used to talk to giants on them. That's what they were for. They'd go up there so that they could talk to the giant on a head level, but they had to go up and stand on this platform, and they're in them churches. And they, you know, it's not, yeah. So have a look at them.
That reminds me of the pyramids too. Like because the pyramids usually have those type of platforms that people could climb up to, and if there was giants, then
talk to them on a level. Yeah,
that's interesting.
You'd have to talk to them, otherwise you'd be yelling, right? Hey, because they'll be like, I can't hear. Because even with children, what do? We go down to their level so we can hear what they're saying properly, so they don't have to look up at us and yell. So why wouldn't we do it for giants? We'd have a platform so they can talk to it. We can talk to them. Yeah, I love giants. I think I was a giant once. And my punishment is being really small.
And you made yourself small? And then you came back and you were a pixie like this big. You're like, what the heck? I was giant.
It was funny. Well, guess what? We just nearly made it to 2 hours.
I'm convinced I was a T-Rex in my past life. One of my past lives. I have like short little stubby arms, a big head. I don't run very fast. I was proven today. I have T-Rex in my genes.
If you look at the kangaroo, it's kind of like a T-Rex, but its actually arms are longer. It hasn't got the short little arms. It's got a bit longer arms, so it can actually use them, but it's kind of the same shape.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if they're giant
kangaroos. I mean, and I've got short little squat legs like a little corgi dog, so I'm like, when the zombies come, I'm going to be one of the first to go. I've already made peace with that.
Yeah, that's what I say. I can't run to save my life, so I learn to fight.
Right.
Yeah, running's out of the question. I can walk really fast, but
I mean, I won't be an hors d'oeuvre, but I'll at least be like first or second course.
Oh, and on that note, I think we're starting to ramble now. I think we might wrap it up, and we'll see you next week. And before we go, I'll just ask, Malia, did you enjoy Father Crespi?
I did. I want to go look in for more information.
Oh, cool. I'm glad.
Totally. We'll come back next week if I find anything.
More? Yeah, okay. And I'll show the slides over again. No.
Yeah.
And did you enjoy Father Crespi? Because you didn't know about him.
I did. I did enjoy Father Crespi. Yeah. Brother Crespi, which...
Yeah, I know.
Crispy.
It's probably said Crespi or who knows.
Yeah, I mean, he looks strikingly familiar to somebody that we know. So
I saw that comment and I actually laughed, and it wasn't appropriate to laugh at that moment, but I'll tell people I wasn't laughing at what was happening. I was laughing at the comment that it looks like someone we know, because it does. Isn't that funny when you see someone that's like, I know someone that looks like that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us today.
Yes. Yeah, thank you again, Luna. Thank you for having me.
That's all right. And thank you for joining us. And I hope you enjoyed Father Crespi. If you didn't know about him, you do now. Now you know. And yeah, go have a dig around. You might find more than we did. So, and if we find more, I think Malia will come back and tell us. So,
yes, I will.
We're going to rock it out like we normally do.
Yeah, with my broken chair.
Yep, and if anyone wants to buy Jules a cup of coffee,
Roxy has decimated this chair. She is.
Aww.
Yeah.
It looks comfy though. Is it one of those kind that has like the 5 roller out very
Yeah,
low to the
it's
floor
got
on the
wheels on the bottom of it.
I love those kind. Oh my gosh. But
Um,
they do eventually.
It's on the I'm saving up for list.
Okay, good.
put your details in the chat room. Someone might buy you a new chair.
It's a chair.
In the comments. Put your PayPal donation link in the comments.
I'll just grab a chair from the dining room table and put some books on it.
Someone will come along. No, don't do that because next thing you know, you'll have like 20 chairs lined up in front of your
Hey,
apartment.
you can't pick these kind of chairs.
You'll have more than one.
Yeah, you'll get more than what you wished for.
No,
I'm
wishing, I'll eventually get a chair, but if I'm wishing for other stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so tune in next week, find out whether Jules got a new chair or not.
She won't.
Word of the week, and we'll see you
She
next
won't. She's paying bills tomorrow. She won't.
week. So I love to you on this day. Stay deadly, stay centered, and stay strong. And be serene this week, and we'll see you next week, everybody. Have a good week. We love you.
And don't forget, if you're around tomorrow from 2 to 5, me and Polly are going to be on IBN playing tunes and talking about 1987.
That's right. So we'll be listening in. See you then, Yahoo. We'll see you next week. Bye.
2 to 5 p.m. at Eastern Standard Time.
Yes, Eastern.
Yeah. Hey, I love this
music. Good seeing everybody.
Because we can totally talk like.
And love you, workers.
Jam session.
All right, everyone. We'll catch you next week. Have a good day. I'll see you on this day.
Ha 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 ha.